Hey guys, what's up? So I know it's been a while since I filmed on this channel or whatever, and honestly, it's because I've kind of had a hard time figuring out what I want to do. Like I was really into the whole radio and like YouTube thing, and I still am, but lately it's kind of been like I'm in that stage where I'm doubting if it's really what I want to do. So I took like a huge hiatus from YouTube. And for a while, it was kind of like, do I really, really want to do this? And but for some reason, every time I always miss it, and I always want to come back. And but then also like I never know what I want to film. Like I'll have video ideas and then I'll film them, and then I'll like get really insecure and really self conscious, and then I won't end up posting anything. So I just thought I would fill you guys in on becoming vegetarian because it's a choice that I made about a year ago, and it's actually becoming one of like the biggest things I've done in life, and one of the things I'm actually proudest of because I never knew that I was gonna like actually love being vegetarian and kind of just make it a lifestyle and aspire to be vegan eventually and then like for the rest of my life. So yeah, just start with saying that like I actually always wanted to be vegetarian. It was something that always interested me, and like especially cuz like I had people around me who would do it, but every time I tried to do it, my parents were kind of like, "Oh, you know, you need to be really cautious because you can get sick and like because of your nutrition, la la la." And like since I'm already like super thin, I was scared. So I was like, okay, maybe being vegetarian isn't something that I should do right now. But finally last year, I got really like fed up, and because I started growing a really big love and passion for animals, and then I kind of felt like I can't really claim and say that I love animals and that I want to rescue animals when at the same time I'm supporting this huge industry, which is like the meat and the dairy and all those industries that like kill animals. And you know, I took a class on that, and not all companies or food industries or whatever are like that. Some of them are, you know, a lot more humane about the way they kill their animals, but the majority is just, you know, they have the slaughterhouses, they have all those like overcrowding, they break a lot of laws, and that isn't something that I wanted to support, being somebody who eventually wants to work with animals and rescue them and, you know, have healthy animals myself. So I just kind of was like, you know what, I think it's time that I change my lifestyle and I stop eating meat. And I also did it for my health. My health was a really big thing because I've always eaten, like, I don't eat unhealthy, but when I was eating meat, it was really easy for me to just be like, oh, I'm gonna go get a burger here, I'm gonna get a chicken sandwich over there. It's like so easy to fall into the fast food, what would you call it? Like a web, I guess you could say, where it's just like instead of cooking, you find it a lot easier to just go get something somewhere. So I kind of fell into that, and I wasn't the healthiest eater, especially because, like I said, I'm thin, and I'm sorry to say this, but like it's hard for me to gain weight. So no matter how unhealthy I ate, I couldn't gain weight, or no matter how much I ate. And that to me, like I was taking my body for granted. On the outside, it wasn't showing, but I'm pretty sure that on the inside, I was really unhealthy. And it did start showing on the outside because I always had a lot of acne, and I'm pretty sure that just like is also hormonal and stuff. But I felt like when I was eating meat, it was just like 10 times worse. And for a while, my face was really clear, but the last month and this month, it's been coming back bad. I don't know why. Pretty much, that's what made me want to go vegetarian, and I decided to stop eating meat August 16th of last year. So it's literally about to be almost a year. And it's funny because at that time I was actually working at a fast food restaurant. So I was around burgers and chicken sandwiches and eventually hot dogs like all day. And to be honest, it wasn't even that hard. Like a lot of people when I first started telling my coworkers like, "Oh yeah, I'm not going to eat meat anymore," cuz they'd be like, "Oh, make yourself a burger." And I was like, "No, I'm not eating meat." A lot of my coworkers were like, "What? Like why not?" And I was just like, you know, like I just don't want to eat meat anymore. And you know, a lot of them will be like, "Oh, I couldn't do it. Like I couldn't do that. It's too hard." And I don't know, you know, like it wasn't as hard as I thought, especially working at a fast food restaurant. It was like the more I like, the longer the time of me not eating meat was, the more disgusting I found all the burgers and all the stuff that we make, because like, you know, you see it come shipped in boxes, frozen patties, and then you like, you know, just drop it on the grill. And it was just like, to me, that was really disgusting. And I was like, yeah, I'm really glad I'm not eating this crap anymore because this is freaking gross. You know, like I'd rather cook my food and whatever, you know, as good as these burgers may look, like they're not good for you. So I stopped eating that. And then, at first I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it for a month and try it. But I think after the month, I didn't really see much of a difference. And I don't think a month is enough to really see something, especially when you've been eating something your whole life. Like I've been eating meat since I started to eat meat, I don't know, and then up to I'm 24 right now. So it's like 20 something years of my life I've been eating meat. So obviously a month isn't gonna, cleanse me of all the meat I ate throughout my life. So I decided to go for 6 more months. And then after the 6 months, I was like, well, why am I gonna stop now? So like I'm about to hit my year, and I'm slowly trying to transition into veganism. I will say that I do have a hard part with cheese, but lately I haven't been eating cheese. But then it's also the fact that like when you go vegan, you really can't eat anything that has milk in it. It's just you can't eat it any egg product, none of that. So I've been having a hard time with that because I'm a very like I have a very sweet tooth when it comes to cookies and all those things. So having to find vegan cookies and all that, it's been taking a lot for me, but I'm getting there slowly. Most of my meals are not home cooked, and I don't put any animal product in them. I've gone to stores where I can like find vegan alternatives or something, and I don't cook with animal products. So to me that's good. But it's like if I go out to eat somewhere and the ingredients say oh egg or meat or I mean egg or like milk or something like that. I'm also not like, oh no, I can have it. I'm just like, oh, it's cool, it's not, as long as it's not meat itself. But I definitely want to go vegan. That's like my ultimate goal for the end of this year. And then I just want to see how long I can keep that. Like, sometimes I do miss tacos and I miss buffalo wings and I miss those things, but it's not really worth it. Like when you've been doing it for a while and then you look at your health and how you're doing it, it's just awesome. And I do want to talk about that. At first it was kind of scary because like I said, I've been underweight pretty much my whole life, and I've also been anemic. So when you stop eating meat, you lose, the protein, the minerals, the vitamins, all that you were getting from there. But it's also good because you learn how to replace it. You start eating more fruits, more vegetables, more grains, more things that are actually a lot better for your body and fuel you even more. And there's this myth that a lot of athletes have actually been breaking lately about how like you need meat protein in order to survive or to build muscle or whatever, which is total BS. Like it's been proven time and time over again that like you don't need meat for any of that stuff, and you don't need meat to survive. And I know a lot of people when they go vegetarian or vegan, they like start getting sick, and then they start blaming everything on that, and then they're like, oh screw this, I'm gonna go back to eating meat. But that's only because those people are not educated. They didn't do the research, and they thought that all going vegetarian or vegan meant was not eating any animals, but they don't know how to feel themselves. So there's a lot of controversy when it comes to these type of diets, but I have a lot of people around me now that are vegans, and my cousin, she's very educated when it comes to that. So anytime I have questions, I've asked her, I've been like, hey, like what can I eat to like replace this or that, or like I'm feeling this kind of way, what do you think I should do? And she's like, oh, eat more this, eat more that, so it's like really awesome to have those people around you. So yeah, so honestly to me it hasn't been that difficult. I did have a while, like I think about a month or two ago, where I actually text my cousin telling her like, hey, like I was like, I don't think I'm gonna eat meat anytime soon, but I've been having a really hard time like not wanting to get it, if that makes sense. Like I would see a burger and I'd be like, oh my god, like I really want that burger right now, but I mean I never had it. And she was like, it's okay, like there's phases, you just started this out, and at first it's like really difficult and like those cravings will come. She's like, but after a while like you don't even crave it. And I don't crave it, but it's like if I see a picture of a burger, like it still looks good to me. Obviously I've been eating it my whole life, so yeah. And health-wise, like I said, the last time I went to the doctors, they checked all my vitals, every single thing, and they told me I was perfectly fine. This is the first time I've never been anemic, so, it feels really good to know that, like, I stopped eating meat, and it hasn't really negatively affected my diet. I haven't gone ever since. I do want to make it a point to go every once in a while, just so I know that I'm not deficient in anything, because, deficiencies, I think they don't really, like, if I were to be deficient on something, I'm not going to wake up the next day feeling like shit. I feel like they creep up on you, and maybe you start off with a headache one day and you're like, oh, it's just a headache. But then, it gradually gets worse, and then until you're like not able to get up or you're passing out, then that's when you figure out that you have a deficiency. So that I'm trying to make it a point to like go and get my vitals checked every once in a while, just so I'm sure. But, I've been going to the gym. I go to the gym now 4 days or 5 days a week. So I'm doing great as of right now with the whole vegetarian thing. It's such like an amazing feeling to know that like I'm not part of that, and I'm not like here trying to shame anybody who eats meat or anything. Like I don't have a problem with people who eat meat, you know, like I have other friends around me who continue to do it, and I don't judge them. You know, we go out to eat, they get whatever they want, and I get whatever I want, and I'm not sitting there like, meat is murder, you're eating a cow, blah, blah, you know, like, I'm not like that. But it is, like, when you become vegetarian or vegan, it is a really good feeling to know that, you know, like, you're just, like, you're not a part of just ignoring the fact that there are millions and millions and millions of animals being brutally murdered every day just, you know, for the consumption of humans who are just too greedy, cook their own food or whatever. Because like as much as I'm not criticizing and stuff, it's like a lot of the people that I've met throughout my whole journey of being vegetarian that have spoken to me about that maybe once they tried being vegetarian or vegan and they hated it and they went back to eating meat, it's a lot of the time it's because they're like, oh, it was too hard, it was just too much work, it was just too much this. And it's like, obviously as somebody who's vegetarian, it's really hard not to say something when people do that, because it's like all this world takes is like not being ignorant and, you know, just like working hard at something, you know, like that's pretty much what life is about. It's just like educating yourself on what you're trying to achieve, what you're trying to do, who you want to be as a person, and then working hard towards it, and knowing that some days you're gonna wake up struggling and like, you know, having a hard time and kind of questioning like, is this really what I want? But it's like when you look at yourself, like when I look at myself in the mirror right now and I see, you know, have been going to the gym, have been gaining muscle, you know, have finally like gained a few pounds ever since I stopped eating meat, I'm like, obviously something is working right, you know. And vegetarians and vegans, it's a lifestyle, and it's a lifestyle that doesn't accommodate everyone, and that's perfectly okay. But I feel like, you know, people need to stop being so afraid to try something that isn't that, you know, popular or whatever. I feel like it's growing a little more nowadays, but it's still very, you know, like people have their feelings towards vegans that we're or vegetarians that we're judgmental, that all we do is complain, and, you know, that we go around, you know, talking crap about people, and that we call you guys murderers and stuff. And like, yeah, there's people who are like that, but at the same time, it's like I said, it's a lifestyle, and, you know, it's something that you just kind of, it comes along with it. But it's like, you don't have to be that person if you go vegetarian or anything, you know. You don't have to be that. You could just, you know, just be a normal person and just choose not to eat meat. So yeah, I hope this doesn't sound like any like propaganda or anything like that. I'm really just trying to like update you guys on my life, because I know that like for a while I was really good with filming YouTube videos, and then like I said, I lost it, and I'm really trying to get back to it. And to be honest, maybe my first few videos will just be updates on life and, you know, what has been going on ever since I stopped filming like 2 years ago. But like I said, I'm really enjoying this. It's a great journey, just seeing how I'm evolving as a person, and how, you know, how good you feel. You feel really good. And so, you know, if you want to try, if it's something you've always wanted to do, I would suggest like definitely do your research. Follow vegan pages on like social media, watch YouTube videos. I know that sometimes things are very biased and stuff, but educate yourself on both things. Like, educate yourself on the meat industry, the pros, the cons of it, and then on like the, you know, like the plant, you know, like plant-based industry, and really just like take a look at all that, because it's very interesting. You know, even learning about the meat industry, to me, I was like, there was some things that I never thought I would know about it. And, you know, like, so educating yourself on everything is definitely like the best way to do it. And it just, you know, if nobody around you supports you, just like I said, follow people who are vegans online and stuff, and then like try to make friends with them, try to reach out to them, try to tell them like, hey, you know, like, I'm vegan and I'm barely going vegan, my family's not too accepting. Because I think after a while, people really will start to accept it. Because, you know, my mom was kind of like iffy about it. And I was just like, why don't you do it with me? Our first month, we did it together. She stopped eating meat. And then now, basically, she's vegetarian too. Because there's nobody in the house that really eats meat. So anytime she has meat is either when she goes out somewhere that she's invited. If it's here at home, nobody eats meat at home. So, you know, pretty much we're all vegetarians here. And that's kind of like the, you know, the kind of the effect that it has. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope I'm pretty sure I'll be back. Maybe like next week I'll be back with another one. And now I'm gonna eat my very vegetarian, no cheese, no animal product pizza from Blaze, which is getting super cold. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye!